What is up? Okay, it's me. It is Q1, and I am back with Tyler Perry Sisters, season 8, episode 14. Knock knock. Listen, we gonna keep going in the spirit of like and love. Shout out to my new subscriber, 127. I love you. Okay, that's my happy dance. So every time I get some subscribers, like I'm gonna hit y'all with the 1-2 with the happy dance. What was I about to say? Oh, yes. So, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell button to be notified on all of the videos I drop. Okay? All right. So, I think this is going to be a little lengthy. So, I'm not even going to sing the theme song. All right. So, sorry, y'all. Anyway, so the episode starts with Officer Rudeness. Y'all know that was the lady that's sitting at that front desk. Officer Fish, Officer Rudeness. I don't even know her name. I'ma call her Officer Rudeness. And Jordan is sitting in a seat waiting to see Penelope. And in walks in Robin. So Robin goes up to the officer, the front desk lady. He tells her that he left a message with Agent Watt and he's here to see Penelope Williams. So she asks for his name and he tells her, I'm Robin Autry. And then once Jordan hears that, he gets up and he walks up to Robin and they have a little chit chat. Now, I know that this was a little bit about Penelope, but it was all rooted in a stick measuring contest when it came to Andy. That's all I'm going to say. Listen. So, Andy then walks into the precinct and, I'm sorry. So the lady lets Robin in the back. Right, so Andy walks into the precinct, or whatever the precinct, and so she tells the front desk lady that, hey, I'm Penelope's attorney, and she tells Jordan. She also tells Jordan that hey, I think I made a mistake by allowing Robin to be, sorry about that, to be Penelope's attorney, but again, she's very evasive. She's not telling him, what she thinking, what's going on, yada, yada, yada. So then the theme song come on. So then it comes back on, right? So Jordan asks questions about her making a mistake on her decision. And Jordan is aggravated, yet again with Andy, because I'm asking you things, you're being evasive, you're not saying anything. But I get it. She can't say anything because he's gonna do what Jordan does, and he's just as annoying as his sister. Like, but I get it. I get Jordan's frustration. So listen, I would like to take this moment and pause, and let's talk about this yellow suit that Andy had on when I tell y'all Sister 8. Like, I don't know for sure who is KJ's stylist, but when they be on one, they are on it. It's like all of her stuff never miss. I mean, she may have like just a little bit, but her stuff never miss, and it fits her amazing. Okay. Anyway, so Jordan is making a scene because Andy doesn't want to talk to him about, everything that's happening, why she decided to say what she said, and why all of a sudden she wants to represent Penel, right? So she just asked Jordan, she was like, listen, I need you to trust me. And he tell her, every time I do that, I come out with egg in my face. So I can't trust you because you got me out here looking like a fool in these streets. Listen, let me say this, because Andy, How you gonna represent Penelope on a criminal case and you a divorce attorney? I just want to point that out to y'all. She is a divorce attorney. Okay? This is not a I tell you, Tyler and his writers be tripping. But, we gonna hold them down. That's what we here for. So, Andy tells him that not to turn this around on me. She said, because it was me that told your sister to leave Gary. It was me who told her to run away from that crazy yada, yada, yada. Not only that, when you found out everything that happened with Gary, when you first met Andy, and they seen it was Andy, Danny, and Sabrina, and they read you everything about Gary while he was standing right there. You didn't think then, but I guess you was too far pregnant to, do whatever it is you needed to do. So Andy tells, what's his name? Jordan, that Penelope chose to stay. And she did. And because you chose to stay, I told you what he did. Her crazy self went to go confront him. Why would you go confront him? Like, why? That's how you lost your baby. You went and confronted him after I asked you not to. That she had a plan. That you wanted to just go. You felt like if you go talk to Gary, that he was just going to tell you everything. Girl, please. So the lady at the front desk was like, listen, as much as I like all this drama and dramatics and, this and that, y'all need to go outside. Go outside and take, not in here, go. Right? So in the next scene, Fatima says that she was talking to Zach, and she was telling him that, she had something for Tamara and Hayden. So he tells her, hey, I'm going to call Karen. She was like, it's fine, whatever, and then she left. She headed to work because prior to that, Fatima was still checking everything out on a suspect board. And then Zach came in and he was like, oh, you started the board without me, yada, yada, yada. So they started looking at stuff. And I think now they're more like, they're still saying that they feel like Robin could have done it. But, they're still trying to figure it out. And they said, well, we hadn't even really accused Hayden and Tamara. So she was like, I got something for him and her. And so that's where that derived from, y'all. So I'm sorry. So Zach calls Karen. He checks on her, asks her if she needed anything. He apologized about stressing her out at the hospital. Because she was like, so you apologizing from stressing me out at your house or stressing me out at the hospital? Hold on, Karen. Let me stop you right there. Because you showed up at these people's house unannounced. You was stressed out. You was mad about the text. You went over there unannounced to try to go check him. You found out she was pregnant, almost sent you into premature labor. So that ain't got nothing to do with you. Anyway. Karen asked him, hey, did you talk to Danny? You should check up on her. He was like, no, why, what's going on? She tell him, hey, she wasn't doing good. Just check up on her. He said, okay, I'm going to pull up. So we get over to Danny's house. She's thanking Sabrina for being there for her, since the panic attack. And they leave. Sabrina, she was like, okay, she says you're welcome. And I don't know the conversations in between. So Sabrina left, for work. She gets a knock on the door. It's Tony and this big old teddy bear. They talk. Well, I think we get to the next scene. So I put the next scene. Robin goes to Penelope's cell, introduces himself, tells him what law firm he's from, and Penelope automatically like, no, anybody that's connected to Andy, I don't want nothing to do with. she's poison, and he tells Penelope, basically, don't cut your nose to spite your face. You might be mad at her, but hey, I'm here to help you. So this is what we gonna do. So Penelope tells, what's his name, Robin, that her hands were covered in blood. She thought that Agent Watt was her friend, but meanwhile he was really using her because he knew she was vulnerable. That's insane. I don't like him. And so she said that Agent Watt, or I forgot his name, she kept calling him by his first name, that he would hurt her. He would lie to you. He even arrested you knowing you didn't have a lawyer, and he was trying to frame you. Anyway, so he was trying to frame you so he can close his case. So in the next scene, Karen calls Pam, and I was like, well, ma'am, why are you calling Pam? And I was like, oh, okay. So Pam gets off the phone. I got everything under control. Meanwhile, you trying to trade in this lady's office. I was like, when I tell y'all, Pam is so unprofessional, disrespectful. I mean, yeah, she's an okay lady when it comes to, like, certain things, checking on Karen, making sure she's fine. But all of this, no ma'am. Karen, you need to get you some Ring cameras. All right, I don't care what kind you get. Get you some cameras in your office so you can watch what you're doing from the privacy of your home. All right. So in the next scene, we get back to Danny's house. She apologizes to Tony, and he checks on her. She tells him that Krisha's now putting her on antidepressants, and that she needs to process everything. So she tells Tony that she needs time, like a couple days. So she sits down. She tells Tony after she was assaulted in college and she got out of that abusive relationship, she used sex as a way to cope. She also says that if she gave men what they wanted, they wouldn't have to hurt her to get it, or they wouldn't have to take it from her to get it. And she tells him when they were about to get intimate, before they got into the argument, she wasn't sure if she was doing it because she had to or because she wanted to. And I just love this version of Danny, y'all. I really do. So then she asked Tony if she can, take PTO. And that was basically the gist of the conversation. But I really do love Danny and what she's growing into. So I love the character development on her. I want to say we had character development on Sabrina when she went to jail, but I really don't remember much. But I really need I need them to pour more into Sabrina. Because we're not seeing nothing. Like Fatima came, we got into her character development, but this with Sabrina is moving really, really slow. If you ask me, I think it's just moving really slow. So anyway, Detective Watt is trash. All right. So he tells Robin he got a confession out of Penelope and a case is officially closed. Robin lets him know, so the case is closed, but you have no evidence, no witness, but a statement that's coerced from a fragile woman that suffers from blackouts without the benefits of a counsel, right? So Robin thinks he had an appropriate relationship with Penelope. Detective Watt says I don't know what you're talking about, which I felt like he was lying. I felt like in the moments of blackout, something, which is why she had that doctor. He did something. I don't trust him. Anyway, so Robin asks, why did you tell her that you care for her while she was in your protective custody supervision? So Detective Watt was like, because she had just lost her baby by the hands of Gary Borders, and he claimed that he felt sorry for her. And Robin tells him that he crossed the line. And Robin But I get it, because Andy, I was about to say, you and Andy, but hey, Andy was his coworker. But at the same time, that was your subordinate. You were her boss. You are her boss. So you didn't, but I get it. You have to get Pernell out. So we gonna do what's necessary to get Pernell out. So I get it. I ain't gonna lie. Robin was on Detective Watt, but so Watt asked Robin if he was still representing Andy, and so he was like, "No, I'm not." And Robin asked Watt, "Do you just hate black women? You like to exploit them?" Yes, he do, and yes, he does. So Robin then tells Watt, "Get Penelope out in 1 hour." So he'll have the FBI and Atlanta PD rolled up in lawsuits, and that black women will be protesting about it or whatever. So Rich and Sabrina at the hospital, they have an STD talk. He tells her that he had an STD. It was just like, so she was like, "Well, no, you don't have an STD because I don't have nothing. And so since I don't have nothing, you don't have nothing." And I felt like that talk was very ignorant. But whatever. Let's move it along. So Zach stops by to see Danny. He asks Danny what happened. She says, she tell him, I just had a little panic attack. She trying to downplay what happened to her. So they talk about, she tells him what's happening in her therapy. Danny says she feels like her therapy isn't moving fast enough, and then she doesn't know if she's going to come in. Zach asks her why. He asks her, why would you say that? She says she's doing the work, but she feels like her mind, body, and spirit are coming apart at the seams. And her brain is like, why can't she just go back to what she knows? So Zach says, what, like boozing and vaping? And then Danny says that she feels guilty about it because she knows that she's not that person, and is... Oh, she says that all right. Zach says, like boozing and vaping. Danny said she feels guilty about it because she knows that's not who she is, but who she became because of everything that happened. So Zach tells her that the therapy is working. Like, you may not see it, but I see it. And so Zach tells her that she's different now. She's more in touch with her feelings. She's self-aware, and she says she thought therapy was supposed to make you feel better. Zach says maybe it gets worse before it gets better. Zach reminds her that she's been through a lot. She's been through a lot of stuff, and that the panic attack was probably a way of blowing off some steam off of her, and that this could have been a blessing in disguise. Danny then says that she didn't want no blessing. Like, I don't want no blessing like that. She feels like she picked up things too quickly with Tony after Preston. And Zach says, do she really think that, or is she looking for a reason to run? And I actually enjoyed this scene. I can relate to Danny, but I'm not gonna. Just know that the week has not been the best, but I'm making it anyway. So Fatima goes into Hayden's office. She's being extremely nice to Hayden, and he was like, I don't have time for this, and I don't know why you being nice, but he's still being condescending. But she still goes on to be nice to him. So I guess that was her way of making him forget something. She fixed his tie for him before he left. He left and forgot the phone. So she saw the phone on the desk. She went through his trying to open the phone. She saw a picture of him, used that to open up the phone. She got what she needed and left out. But prior to that, we see him go to his parking garage, go to his car, and he realized he forgot that phone, and he turned around to go back to get it. By the time he came back, she already found what she was looking for and went back to her office. So, back to Danny and Zach. She tells Zach that he will be a good dad, and then he asks her to be the godmother of his baby. Danny starts to cry, and Zach also gets emotional. But my question is she going to be the godmother of... Oh, yes. So I'm thinking she's going to be the godmother of his baby and Fatima's baby. Because I want to say Sabrina is actually the godmother of his baby with Karen. So, at the hospital with Rich and Sabrina, we find out that they can't use his sperm because he has sickle cell anemia, which was very unfortunate. I hate that for him, even though y'all don't like Rich, but I didn't expect that. So, they feel away. I actually thought she was gonna tell him that we can't use your sperm because Sabrina is pregnant. I really thought he had got Sabrina pregnant prior. So we get to Andy's, and Robin shows up at the house. She asks him why is he representing Penelope, and he was like, "Am I being punked? Because didn't you ask me to represent her, and now you're asking me why am I doing it?" So she tells him that you haven't been up front with her since you arrived, and he said, "I haven't been up front for your benefit." So she was like, "Listen, let's just skip to the chase. Did you stab Gary?" So we get to the next scene because he didn't answer the question yet. So then we get to Karen's house. She gets a knock on the door. It's Fatima. Fatima shows up unannounced. Karen answered the door and said, "What the hell are you doing here?" Girl, bye. Because I would like you to know you have not just showed up once. You showed up at this person's house 2 or 3 times unannounced, on top of the fact that you've always been extremely rude to her because you're mad at him because he moved on. Slade ain't done nothing to you. The moment you found out them two was together, ma'am, I need you to calm all the way down. Because that lady has been trying to be nothing but nice to you, as Fatima would say. That lady been sparing you. And the only reason she was sparing you is because of that baby. So, in the next scene, Watt shows up at Gary's room. And he shows him pictures to help him jog his memory of who could have possibly stabbed him. So then, Watt shows Gary a picture of Sabrina. He was like, "No." Then we see a picture of Karen. He says, "No." Then we see Penelope. He was like, "Oh, that's the woman who said something about losing a baby, yada, yada, yada." He was like, "That woman is crazy." No, it wasn't her. So then we see a picture of Fatima. Gary remembers Fatima and says she was the one who did it. And this is what the episode ended. Y'all, we gonna see how all of this folds, y'all, because I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, we gonna be back with next week, y'all. We just gotta see. So I see y'all in the next one. Bye.